Hey everyone, Tyson the Subaru Specialist from Subaru Prince George here. And today we are taking a look at the 2025 Subaru Forester Premier in the Magnetite Gray Metallic. So this is a fully loaded Forester, every available factory bell and whistle. 25 is a redesign year for the Forester, new body style, updated exterior, interior, updated drivetrain, still a 2.5 liter, 4-cylinder. You get 180 horsepower, so it's down 2 horsepower. We're running 0W16 synthetic oil apart from the 0W20 that the previous generation had. So tolerances are getting tighter. New front end, that's definitely one of the biggest noticeable things immediately for me, seeing them all the time, is the front end. Get a larger hexagonal shaped grille. Their gloss black Subaru logo has been flattened. It is not 3D, actually something that I noticed and wasn't a huge fan of. That's just a personal preference, of course. We got lots of hexagonal design elements on the Forester. So you can see there's some hexagonal texture, hexagonal black gloss highlights. Headlights are smaller, LED steering responsive with high beam assist. Now, something that I get questioned about all the time, especially when you have someone out of a previous gen Forester, is, well, the headlights are smaller. Are they gonna be as good? I'm concerned. And visually, the smaller headlight doesn't make it look like it's gonna be great, but it does cast very, very great light. Good width, good distance, good height, and they're LEDs, so they're great. New style fog lights, and I'll show you what they look like towards the end of the video when they're lit up. They don't look overly impressive during the day, but during inclement weather or when it's dark out, they actually look quite aggressive. I'm a big fan. Cladding along the bottom, a la Subaru, still goes around the wheel well, kind of like a fender flare. Functional. Got vents there. Premier does get 19-inch wheels. So that is something that's a little bit different in Subaru's lineup versus previous. We had 17s, 18s, 16s, and 20s. Now we have 19s to the lineup. Not a bad looking wheel at all. Got gloss black mirror caps with integrated turn signals. And that cladding continues along the bottom where we have more gloss black and an elongated hexagon that extends both doors. Still have 8.7 inches of minimum ground clearance, and it's still that boxy SUV style that we all know and love the Forester to be. You also notice we have low profile roof rails on the Premier. So that is something that they've done on the Sport and the Premier, and it just looks sleeker. You can still get crossbars for them, then you just have to go with the Thule ones. Gloss black end caps, still get the panoramic sunroof. They've moved the badging to the side, still symmetrical all-wheel drive, of course. And the gas door, still passenger side, rear passenger. If the car is locked, the fuel door is locked. If the driver door is unlocked, the fuel door is unlocked. And it just runs regular, nothing fancy. Tail lights have Subaru on them, and you've got half a hexagon, and you'll notice that it wraps around, goes all the way across to the other half of the hexagon. We've got blacked out badging. And that's the only badge on the back. We've got Forester debossed into the rear tailgate, which is nice. I think it's a nice touch. You see that on a lot of cars now. We have backup sensors integrated into the rear bumper, and they'll actually apply the brakes if you're gonna hit something in reverse between speeds of 1 and 15 kilometers an hour. We have our exhaust finisher, which again, wrapped in gloss black, and then we have the hexagonal pieces there. Now, something I'm a big fan of on the new one, we've got a kick gate, so you kick and back up, and so long as it senses the key moving away, it opens. And we've got a ton of room. Just like the previous gen Foresters, tall, wide, and deep, very, very boxy. You can fit a lot of stuff in here practically. Cargo tray with the new topographic map on it, standard equipment, privacy cover, standard equipment, keeps everything out of sight, out of mind. This is easy to remove. You can actually tuck it underneath our false floor here, and you can kind of see where it's supposed to go. We've got a little bit of storage. They've given us tire bags. We've got a battery raiser whenever it comes time to replace the battery. And then we have our spare tire and tools. And so this is if you ever replace the battery and the battery that you're replacing with isn't as tall, that brings it up so the battery cables aren't stretched. Nice hard mount physical tie downs in each corner. Makes it easy to secure awkward cargo. We've got grocery bag hooks on either side. The ability to fold down the seats, click of a button. And you can dramatically increase the amount of storage you have in a Forester. Moving appliances is a breeze, super, super easy to do stuff like that. Now, something fun that Subaru's done is they've added little Easter eggs, like that telescope, like these mountains, like this compass all throughout the Forester. LED cargo light there. Now to close it, we can close it, we can lock and close it, we can pull down, we can do it from the key fob or kick and back up. It'll beep 3 times. I don't know if the mic's picking it up, but the idea is you grab a cooler, boxes out of there. Your hands are full. You can't reach up to pull it down. So you kick and back up, and it does that, which is pretty cool. Second row. With the seats folded down, they go up one-handed very, very easily. And this Premier has the brown and dark gray / black interior. Now this is leather with ultra suede inserts, and these seats are ridiculously comfortable. I love the perforated leather. This is very comfortable. I think that the brown and black two-tone looks good with a couple looks really good with a couple exterior colors. I think the gray and the green and the blue look absolutely fantastic with this interior. Easy access to the latch system. So now you'll notice they're not covered. And I was actually initially a little concerned that it was going to hurt while sitting in it. Luckily, I can tell you after spending countless test drives in the back seat of these, it does not dig into your hips. Now, of course, your mileage may vary depending how you're built, how you sit, but I can tell you that I haven't been a victim of that. Fold down armrest with integrated cup holders. We've got heated seats for the 2 outboard passengers. Person in the middle, if there is one, in addition to having to sit in the middle, doesn't get a heated butt. 2 USB ports for charging only. Vents out of the center console, in addition to underneath each front seat facing rearward to heat up and cool down the second row much more effectively. It's great to have. Nice improvement. We've got 3 matte back pockets on the backs of both front seats. We've got a textured step with Subaru stars on it, and they want you to use that to access the roof if you have something on the roof, instead of standing on the tire, because one, the tire sits actually inside the fender. You're not gonna get as much of your foot on this as you will on that. And if I stand on this directly, go straight up, I'm right at the back. Most of the time, you're not gonna have the rack system set right to the back. The thing you're carrying is not gonna be right to the back. So you'll end up leaning over, and that could potentially put you in a precarious position. They don't want that. We've also got that little black slot, and that's what this extra side impact crash safety bar, that silver eye-shaped bar, locks into, and that is designed to reduce the chance of intrusion into the passenger cab in the event of a collision. So hopefully none of you ever need to experience it, but Subaru's all about safety. That's one of those safety features. The door card, mix of leather and the suede, soft touch materials. Even where you put your thumb, you'll notice it's flexible. It's soft touch, which is quite nice. Small detail that I notice. We've got our power window. We've got a little bit of storage with a bottle holder, and if you need it, child locks to go with those Easter eggs. We've got some dog paws there. Now, it is a proximity key, so this never needs to come out of your purse, your pocket, your bag, your backpack. Just needs to be within 46 inches of the car. So if you want to lock it, keys in your pocket, touch the lines, and it locks it. There is a small audible chirp, and your hazards will flash when you lock or unlock it. So let's see here. And it unlocked, just because I had my hand in the handle. So it is handy. I'm a big fan of it. Front door card looks very similar to that of the rear in terms of soft touch materials. We've got 2 position memory settings for your power driver's seat and mirrors. Great if there's 2 regular drivers. Front 2 windows are auto power windows, regular power windows for the rear window lock if you don't want people playing with their windows. Power mirrors, and then we have a little bit more storage with a large bottle holder. Now it is a power driver's seat, of course, with the memory settings. Now the lumbar support level, which is this button right here, will not be remembered because that can change depending how long you're in the car for. And the seating material up front is the exact same as it is in the second row, same colorway, but these seats are the new style seats. So Subaru designed these seats to reduce vibration and harshness felt by occupants, so you're gonna be less fatigued at the end of a day of driving. So less fatigued, more alert, less likely to be involved in an accident. And they're very, very comfortable. I've spent quite a bit of time in them, and they're very comfortable. By the driver's left knee, we have the ability to open the rear hatch. We've got a scroll wheel for the brightness of our gauges, and we have the ability to turn off that proximity sensor for the kick gate. So if for some reason you didn't want it active, you simply push it in, and you can tell it's active when you push out. And you have that little white slot on top. So off, on. Super easy to use. Push button start. Foot's on the brake, light goes green. Foot's not on the brake, light doesn't go green. Green means go. Everything comes to life. We've got our blind spot detection indicators there. They illuminate orange on the corresponding side when someone's in your blind spot or is going to be momentarily. Not an excuse not to shoulder check, but it is a nice aid if you sleep on your neck funny, you can't turn your head quite as far. It's a great aid. And actually, speaking of visibility, it is absolutely phenomenal in the Forester. It's like sitting in a greenhouse. There's so much visibility in here. They're a blast to drive. After driving a Forester, hop into another vehicle, you feel like you're driving a tank. You're very, very blind. Steering wheel is leather wrapped. Heated steering wheel. Little orange light indicates that it's on. Got some gloss black accents. And then, of course, the left-hand side here, we've got our Bluetooth and audio controls. You can make and take calls, control the volume of the calls and the music, accept calls, hang up, decline calls, access Google Assistant or Siri. We've got our volume toggle. This used to be volume on the previous gen. That now changes our small display up top here. And it gives us different info depending what we want to look at, what you want to look at. Switch from AM to FM to satellite to USB, etc. We've got our presets. We can go to the next song. We have paddles, up and downshift. So we can manually select our own gears. So left is downshift, right is upshift. Even with the automatic CVT, you can manually select your own gears. Right-hand side, we have our adaptive cruise and lane centering. Those use these 3 black boxes, those color stereo EyeSight cameras, to look for cyclists, road lines, pedestrians, and other vehicles. These are also responsible for automatic emergency braking, and that actually saves you 10% on your basic insurance here in BC. Now, when I turn on cruise, I get an image of the Forester, and you'll see that there are 3 bars ahead of it, 4 bars ahead of it, all the way down to 1. So the bars indicate the follow distance behind the vehicle ahead of you that you will follow at if you catch up while using cruise. So when I set my cruise speed by pulling down, these 3 lines will change to whatever speed I have set. It'll tell me exactly what it is. 4 bars at 100 kilometers an hour will follow the person ahead of you at 150 to 180 feet. So a good, safe distance. Now you can follow closer. Each time you press this down arrow, it decreases the bar, and it's a ratio. So if you're following someone going 100 kilometers an hour and you're following at 150 feet and they slow down to 70 kilometers an hour, you'll slow down to 70 and you'll get a little bit closer as a ratio. Now, this is lane centering. That's the little steering wheel with the hands. You have to have the cruise system turned on, but you don't have to have cruise activated for it to be active. Now you notice there's 2 gray lines on either side of the Forester and the distance markers there. When the EyeSight cameras can see the road lines, whichever side it's on, they will illuminate the same white as the distance markers. When it does that, you will actually get gentle steering input to keep you in the center of your lane. Now this is not hands-free driving. This does not replace you. It's not going to rip the wheel out of your hand. You can overpower it if you need to dodge a pedestrian, a vehicle, an animal, something like that. But it does give you gentle steering input. It's great for long distance driving. I don't recommend it around town. I actually find it a bit of a hindrance around town. Intelligent and sport drive mode. So it defaults to intelligent for everyday driving. And you can see down in the bottom left, it says P for park. To the right of that, it says I for intelligent. Now it says S, that's sport. And you'll notice that yellow line gets a little more aggressive, a little sharper. Super easy to use. You don't have to be stopped to do it. You can do it on the fly. So if you're going to pass someone, hit sport mode, you get a little bit more oomph. Bottom left of the steering column, you've got tilt and telescopic adjustment. So depending how you like to sit, it's perfect. I like to sit fairly far back, but I don't like my arms outstretched, so pulling it towards myself makes it much more comfortable for me. Over here, we've got you might have seen the red light there. That is our driver focus system. So it's an infrared camera. It's trying to scan your face in. You can set yourself up. It'll welcome you in the car, but it's designed to tell you if you're distracted or drowsy. And it'll give you a couple alerts. It'll flash a cup of coffee if you're exhibiting symptoms of drowsiness, excessive blinking, head nodding, and it'll tell you if you're not paying attention to the road. So very handy. Yeah, you can see it right there trying to scan me in. Now, we've got an 11.6 inch touchscreen infotainment system here. I'm gonna leave the plastic on it per the customer's request. This one is going out in the next couple days. Customer wants to peel it themselves, so I'll leave that. But top portion here, beside our 4-ways, we've got what we're listening to. So I apologize a little bit about the glare. We've got navigation destination, widgets, which you can change around. And if you've watched any of my other videos, I set them to the same ones because they seem to be the ones that people like. So we've got water temp, oil temp, date. We've got weather, part of your satellite radio trial. And then we have access to dual function X mode. So this is like forward low in a pickup. Under speeds of 40 kilometers an hour it can be used. Have to be going under 20 kilometers an hour to engage it. You've got snow and dirt. And then you have deep snow and mud, which also disables traction control, which allows for excess wheel spin to chew you out. You'll notice you have the little rough terrain icon and the downhill descent icon there too. If you exceed 40 kilometers an hour, it just kicks out and goes back to regular all-wheel drive, which is very efficient above speeds of 40. Main portion of the screen, we have physical volume and tuning knobs. Under map, we have navigation powered by TomTom, no subscription for it. You've got that for the life of the car. Radio, media, and phone are pretty self-explanatory. Under apps, we've got wireless Android Auto, wireless Apple CarPlay. You gain access to the My Subaru app after the vehicle's registered in your name, and it allows you to remote start your car, lock and unlock, diagnose, check engine lights, all that. Settings, you can change a lot of settings. Can't wreck anything by playing with settings. Go over to car. Lots of things you can change. The driver monitoring system, the keyless entry system, you can adjust it to yours. Lots of things you can kind of customize to make it yours. There's a second page, and you can add additional shortcuts if you wanted. We've got our home button, the little open envelope, and that always takes you here. Always. We have the ability to disable auto start stop. We've got auto vehicle hold, which is like a brake holder for construction drive through rush hour traffic, and you'll see AVH there. If that starts to flash when I'm sitting in traffic, I can actually take my foot off the brake and it'll hold the brake. Then I just tap the gas and off I go. Great for rush hour traffic, construction traffic, drive-through traffic, in a place that isn't print storage here. I have a couple customers that tell me they absolutely love it. I just don't see the value in it where I live. Under the car, we've got vehicle control, driving assistance, more settings. There's lots of things you can change and kind of make it yours. You can hook up to 5 devices in total. For phones, only one can actually be connected at once. And we've got our climate controls. So we do have physical buttons on either side here, and it goes up or down in 0.5 degree increments, or we simply touch the screen and it brings up this. I can click, I can drag, I can sync. I've got the ability to change where I want my airflow being directed. If I want AC on, max AC, recirc, it's all there. I've got big fan strength buttons that are hard to miss. And then I've got 3 stages of heated seats and 3 stages of ventilated seats. So the Premier is the only Forester where you get ventilated seats, heated and ventilated. I can turn off climate altogether. Below the screen, you've got 2 USBs, USB-A, USB-C, auxiliary, and a wireless charger. You can turn it off or you can have it on. This is soft touch, so if you're resting your knee on it on a long trip, it's gonna hurt less. It is the automatic CVT. We have that nice little shifter boot. Contrast stitching matches the rest. Manual mode where we use the paddles. And when we put it in reverse, we get our backup camera. It does show us the top of the bumper there, so we have something to relate to. Shows our sensors, rear assist braking's on, parking sensors are on. And then I've got this little camera button. And I've got 360 camera. Trying to get myself out of the reflection. And then I can have back, behind me, and 360, which is very handy for parking lots. Now, if I'm in drive, I do have this view button right here. Shows me 360 going forward, front driver, front passenger, and 180 degrees ahead of me there. And I can change that. If I just want front camera, it's pretty cool. You get the best of all the worlds in that. Asking me, the infrared driver focus, asking if I want to register, I don't. Parking brake, you pull up to activate, goes red. Goes red. If my foot is not on the brake and I try to turn it off, it says depress the brake pedal. So foot on the brake, push down, off it comes. Got some nice offset cup holders, 12 volt power point, little storage cubby there, the little rubberized floor. Soft touch armrest with a decent amount of storage in it. So there's no power point in there, but there is a place to run cords through. Up top, my favorite feature in any vehicle ever, auto dimming rear view mirror. So no switch to flick, it just automatically dims if someone's got their brights on behind you. Your side mirrors are also auto dimming and are tied to this, which is the best thing ever. Integrated compass, and you do get the HomeLink system, so you've got 3 garage door buttons. You can hook up to 3 separate garage door openers to your mirror, so you don't have to carry a bulky visor opener with you. Less things to forget. It is easy to remove the programming for the garage door, so don't worry about that if you ever go to trade it in or sell it. That's easy enough to do, and the dealership should be doing that when they take it in as part of their process. We've got our LED map lights, we've got our sunroof control, SOS and roadside assistance buttons. You'll get a little green light after the vehicle's registered in your name and the My Subaru setting, or My Subaru account is set up and is running, and that indicates that it's operational. SOS is for medical emergencies, accidents where airbags don't deploy or you feel unsafe. Blue is for roadside assistance or concierge service. We've got sunglass storage. It is a little bit padded in there. And then panoramic sliding sunroof. So if I drag the glass back and I have the shade closed, it'll drag the shade with it. And then when I close it, it'll close it, because this is way back there. And if you don't have as long arms as I do, it can be a pain to get to. On the sun visors, we have card holders. We've got vanity mirror with lights, and you can extend it to the side, and it does have an extender for the driver and for the passenger. So if the sun's directly at your left or right, you're not gonna be blinded, or less likely to be blinded. So that is a quick look at the 2025 Subaru Forester Premier in the magnetite gray metallic. See those headlights, those fog lights. Not nearly as impressive in the morning as it is the evening. But you've got those LED daytime running lights, 8.7 inches minimum ground clearance. And this is every available factory bell and whistle from Subaru in the Forester. Very, very popular vehicle. Redesign's been very popular, especially with those who have upgraded from previous gen Foresters. So thank you for sticking with me and watching my walkthrough of the 25 Forester Premier behind me. I'm Tyson, the Subaru specialist from Subaru Prince George. If you guys have any questions about this car behind me, any of the tech in it, something you saw in it you would like me to elaborate on, please put it in the comments below. I love hearing from you guys, answering your questions. And if you're in British Columbia or willing to travel to northern British Columbia to pick up a Subaru, please reach out to me directly. I would love to help you find your perfect Subaru. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll talk soon.